We are back. Many thanks for tuning in to Power Brief on CAC TV. Things are hot tonight because even looking at your responses on our social media platforms, it is wow. All over the world, we are looking into this matter of impeachment debate of the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. Two able gentlemen are in the house. That is Mr. Milton Lucheri, who is a political and a policy analyst. We are also privileged to have Mr. Mark Vivian Vincent, who is a political analyst and a political consultant. Gentlemen, before we broke, fire had been lit and we were looking whether it is true the Deputy President has violated any part of the Kenyan laws, and both of you had spoken that there is nothing as such. Now, moving forward, do we really need this impeachment of the Deputy President, or there are better things or better ways of approaching it? Beginning with Mr. Milton.
Thank you, Cornelius. You see, even the origination of the impeachment motion is political. So this is just politics taking place. What now is the best way forward? For me, I don't think this motion needs to be filed in the National Assembly because number one, it's a self-defeatist motion. It's gonna fail on arrival. I'm not just saying that, but I'm just looking at the number of members of parliament that the Deputy President has vis-a-vis the number of members of parliament that the President and of course ODM have in
Don't
parliament.
You believe in the narrative that 20 seconds can do anything in politics? Mark Vivian will tell us something about that. Anyway.
Yeah, so basically, actually, there's no need for this motion. I think what needs to be done is to have the President stamping his authority about this issue and becoming the President that he ought to be. At this particular point in time is that the office of the Vice President is under threat from outside forces, and it is the duty of the President to come and protect his Deputy Vice President, because for the sake that they were elected on the same ticket, and also for the stability and cooling down of temperatures, political temperatures in the country, the President needs to come out and solve this issue. He needs to call the Deputy President, and also he needs to call the Raila Odinga and discuss this issue, so that at least we have a more sane country even towards the 2022 deadline. So for me, I don't think the impeachment motion is necessary. Yeah.
So in other words, you're trying to say that this impeachment motion and other lamentations that the Deputy President has been bringing forth can be a threat to peace and stability moving forward to 2022?
Yes, most definitely. You know, this motion has been informed by so many things, and one of them is the BBI process that's going on. Both parties were comfortable with the first BBI, the one that we were introduced to at the bombers of Kenya. And therefore there was no need for sensitization. But now problem came in with the second BBI, the BBI 2, where there are hidden agenda that have been introduced secretly into this report. And that is where the problem is. You remember the politics around BBI got to a fever pitch point such that some rallies were cancelled. The Eldoret rally was cancelled. The Nakuru rally was postponed severally. So that was just feeding into the political temperatures, which was actually taking a negative direction. Thank God that the coronavirus came and actually stopped these political temperatures from escalating any further. So were we to continue in that kind of a projection, then they should have just spiraled out of control. Therefore, it's necessary that the President, at this particular point in time, for the sake of the stability of the country, call the Deputy President, call Mr. Raila Odinga and his associate, and tone down the temperatures on this question. Yeah.
Many thanks, Mr. Milton. Mr. Mark Vivian, should the reggae debate and impeachment continue?
I would love to see a showdown. Let it carry on. Let it take place. And I'll tell you, this is one of the greatest foundation. This will be the cornerstone of making the Deputy President rise into power. Trust me.
You want him to rise to power?
If the Kenyans say yes, who am I to say no? I only have one vote, and my vote will be cast in the secret ballot. But I'm saying this without fear of contradiction, that if this motion is taken to the floor, and with all the due process, the legal process are concerned are going to be followed, trust me, by the time everything falls apart, DP's name will be far and beyond than any other person. Why? We are only looking at the process taking place in the parliament, but we forget we have systems that are also stakeholders and key players. And you see, many of the times when you talk about system, people are just looking at the deep state. They forget in the line of the system, we have the deep state, yes. These are people close to the president. We have the civil service, the senior civil service. We have the county administrations. We have the KDF. We have the CS. We have now the parliament. We have the judiciary. All these are systems. So you can't tell me all these systems have its own deputy president. So when you're bringing in your showdown, trust me, you're just re-engaging the support, the machineries, the people who can go out there and stand and say, you are just victimizing our own. This is not just about the legal aspect of it. The political implications are far much than the legal ones. Why? Because it will be very clear, crystal clear, that it's a two-camp war. And by numbers in both houses, either the Senate or the August House, DP has numbers. And trust me, this now is going to shape the landscape of 2022. And why is it that when we began, the BBI was to be taken to the parliament, but it was like they came and had a second thought, no, let us take to the public. Because they sat down and realized if it's taken to the parliament, whatever DP want to be passed, that's what is going to be passed. Trust me, assume the DP has been impeached, very successfully has been impeached. He has the numbers. He will be outside but still control the parliament. Assume the DP will not be elected. We'll have the numbers. Let us not lie to ourselves. So when we want to wage war, and we see, I like it, The Art of War by Sun Tzu. He say, by the time you want to wage war, never underestimate your opponent. Never look at them as weaklings. Make sure that you rate them at a level whereby you feel they can also beat you. That will make sure you go to the war prepared. You may end up winning the battle but losing the war. So what are we? So if they want to show that DP has violated this and this and this and this, let the court decide. And once the court has decided, take it to the floor of the House. And the motion mover must be ready to have not less than a quarter just to present the paper. To move the motion, you must have the 2/3. And then to have the 230, do they have the numbers? And you see, by the time everything is taking place, trust me, things will be falling apart in one camp and falling right in the right place. Because you see, like sometimes you really need this war so that you can understand. And you see, any battle that's being brought to the doorstep of the DP, you may think you are denting him, but you're preparing him psychologically, you're making him to understand on which are the weak points. Trust me. Why is it that DP has chosen to go to the common one inch? Because he knows and he understands. If anything, the people who can stand with me, if people are talking about the system, the deep state, then let me first of all work my itineraries. Let my tentacles reach every other person on the grassroots, so that when I come up, and trust me, this may be a submarine. When it is going to emerge from the waters, then there is something bigger than we just think. So let us stop the bickering. Let us just stop saying that we want to impeach. They wanted to impeach the president. Where did it go? Is it the saying that say, in our Africa culture, when you have food in the mouth, you don't speak? Are they eating? That's why the issue of impeaching the president stopped. We have manners. So when we are eating, we don't talk.
Thank you, Mr. Mark Vivian.
Food for thought.
To this far, Mr. Milton, do you still want the discussion to be brought on table to be solved? Let the river continue, let the reggae continue, as per Mr. McVivian?
You see, for me, I give my opinion. If I was consulted on the issue, I would still maintain my position that the president needs to bring on board the vice president and also bring on board Raila Odinga and his camp just to cool down the temperatures of the issue. That is my position still. But if in case that Senator Orengo and his camp decide to proceed with the motion of impeachment, there's nothing as good as having options, of which the deputy president has. He has so many options, even in that case. And you heard that Gatundu member of parliament, Moses Kuria, saying that if they do that, then he will engage the Samsonic principle. They will bring down the entire house and call for a snap election, which basically is still an option. Yeah. So, so the deputy president has options, even if the impeachment motion proceeds. Still, he has the option of either calling for a snap election through his members of parliament, of which the ODM and the camp will not agree to it. It's not something that they want. They do not want to face the voters again. So that was just a way of calling down them and telling them, hey, you guys, if that is what you're going to do, this is what we will do. And that was just to calm them down. Of course, the other option is to resign. He has the option of coming to the president and saying that I think I felt the heat of the deep state, the heat of all these things happening.
Not by DP.
I want to resign. And you see, when you do that, number one, you are freeing yourself from all the happenings around you, and it makes you a citizen. Therefore, he is able to now concentrate on his political campaigns if he wants to look for international.
Many thanks, gentlemen.
Just to interject, you know, if DP is watching this, if there is anything that he should never do, to resign, that is shooting himself at the foot, at the leg. And secondly, just to sum up, you realize when we are talking that the president should call the DP on the table and quench all these the issue that is happening, the absurd thing about the deputy president is he does not have a portfolio. He cannot act unless he's being guided or being assigned by the president. So for me, I believe the DP should keep his line, should understand what his mandate, and should act appropriately. But telling me that you want the DP to resign today, he should be there. Let them sack him. But you see, the good thing is he cannot be sacked. That's the beautiful thing. But let him be there in the kitchen, let him face the heat, so that he can mature enough. And one thing I know about DP William Ruto is one person. He may be slow, but he never walk backwards.
You know, I made a point. I made a point, and my brother capitalized on that. I'm just raising a concern. My fellow panelist appears to be more of a politician than a political analyst. So we need to take on that. But I was just spelling out options.
Which is powerful, and we really appreciate your input, guys. Time has caught up with us, Mr. Milton and Mr. McVivian. What a combination, what a show, what a night. This is a projection, an indicator of what is yet to come on Power Brief. We really appreciate your feedback, your comments, and your participation on our social media platforms. Because on Power Brief, we look into political and governance matters and current affairs matters with a third eye and bring it to you to participate and also to contribute. Till next time, for me, Cornelius Omuse, I wish you a good evening.